Hi guys, Iron Cameraman here. Take a look at this. Don't you notice anything similar between these two images? Turns out, the similarity isn't just in the thumbnails. In episode 59, right at the beginning, the agents were in serious danger because of a heavy attack from the toilets. But then, the Titans arrived to help and turned the tide of the battle, and only after that the agents got their morale back. That's when the speaker men returned, and at the end, there was a brotherly fist bump between two Titans. Now, episode 69. There, the agents were moving through the skibidi base, searching for the scientist, and because of that, they ended up losing most of their squad in battle. But in the second half, we see the Titans finishing off the remaining skibidi toilets and getting ready to keep advancing. And again, a friendly fist bump, this time between Cameraman and TV Man. So what's happening in episode 79? That's right. The Astro toilets showed up at one of the Alliance's most important bases, and they brought the infected Titan with them. Right now, the whole Alliance is in serious danger, because the Astros and the TV Titan aren't going to stop. You see where I'm going with this? Boom often likes to repeat some of his old moments and storyline, and episode 79 won't be an exception. But how exactly it'll happen, that's still a question. Today we'll try to guess, using the older episodes as a base. Funny thing is, I noticed this detail by accident, and it looks like this is one of those things Boom was talking about when he said we're missing something. Also, we've got some big news. A test version of episode 78 has come out, this time from Deer from Ohio. Just look at this scene. It's actually really cool. And overall, now that we've got two versions of the test animation from different animators, it's becoming clear what kind of assignment Boom gave them. You can see repeating patterns, and by comparing the differences, you can figure out what wasn't that important to the story, since it wasn't included in the instructions. As you can tell, today's topics are going to be pretty interesting. Before we start, I recommend dropping a like. Rumor has it that if you don't, the hairy skibidi toilet will find you. Anyway, here we go. In one of my previous videos, I shared my thoughts about who might help the Alliance. And honestly, the most fitting one for that role is the Speaker Titan, because out of everyone, he knows better than anyone what it's like to be infected and not be in control of your own body. So who better than him to face off against the TV man in this battle? But there's one thing. At the end of the last two episodes ending in the number 9, there's a brotherly fist bump between Titans. Does that mean the speaker will be able to save his comrade? No, of course not. Remember in earlier episodes, the TV man Titan also tried to save the speaker from infection, and he failed the first time because of G-Man. Yes, he's on our side now, but that doesn't change the fact that we shouldn't expect a full victory in part 2 of episode 79. Most likely, the speaker will be able to push the enemies back, since they won't be able to call in reinforcements. Why? Because the rest of the speaker armada is distracting the rest of their forces. It's probably a very well thought out and clever plan by the speakers. They understand that the Astro toilets work as a team and, if needed, swarm their opponents with a full army, especially if that enemy really poses a threat, like the armada with the new mini Titan. But even with that, I'm not sure the Speaker Titan can handle it. He's strong, but he's not immortal. Sure, we haven't seen him in action yet, but I still believe he won't be able to fight off the Duchess, who can lift Titans with her tentacles, and her shield that blocks any attack, and the infected TV Titan, who can slice through giant mech suits with his sword. And on top of that, there are also the Astro Obliterators. It's more likely that the old duo of Speaker and G-Toilet with his squad will return, because in part 1, his team was hiding somewhere, which is very unlike them. And after some kind of win or something like it, which I still don't fully understand, G-Man and the Speaker will shake hands. Speaking of the brotherly fist bump, I noticed that in earlier episodes it was always the Cameraman Titan who bumped fists with his ally, and you could say that he might show up like he did in episode 50, but that would be too soon. For us, it's been a year since we last saw the Titan, but in the series, much less time has passed, so the Cameraman Titan won't show up in part 2 of episode 79. And it's not because he's lost or injured. The Cameraman Titan is Mr. Boom's new secret weapon. I've already explained why I think so I won't repeat myself. If you haven't seen it, check out the previous video. But today, I'll add more to that theory. What exactly is this secret weapon, and what will it look like? It's pretty obvious that this is going to be some kind of fusion between Astro toilet tech and the tech of the secret agent himself. It's not for nothing that his assistants, including the new secret agent woman, are keeping a close eye on the Alliance and how it's progressing in the Astro space. But the Astro toilets aren't just sitting around either. I mean, after capturing the TV man Titan, they didn't just use him like a tank or weapon against the Alliance. They also took advantage of his main ability, broadcasting cameraman footage. That let them locate bases, fortifications, and then wipe them out. On top of that, with their new screens, they were able to use his hypnotic powers against the Alliance too. The only real question is, have they mastered the dark dimension of the TV men, the Abyss? And if they have, does that mean agents are now in danger from that too? Before, this ability was only available to TV men and a few high-ranking skibidis, but until now, we hadn't seen the Astro using it. But now, with the infected TV man Titan, they have access to that dimension, and who knows how they'll use it from here on out. You might assume that agents could get ambushed in the Abyss by the Watchmen of Doom, or even regular Astro toilets. Sounds logical when you think about their corrupted power. But that theory kind of falls apart when you remember what the polycephaly TV man said back in episode 78. It's impossible to stay in that dimension for too long. So even if the Astro wanted to set up an ambush, they just wouldn't be able to hang around long enough. Still, there's always a chance, and basically they just need to figure out how to sync their teleportation so they all land in the same spot in the Abyss. Still, the Abyss isn't really fully accessible to either side yet. Even the TV men mostly just use it for moving around, nothing more. Which brings up the question, why aren't the Astro toilets using it? The first thing that comes to mind is that maybe they just don't need it. They've got super speed, which lets them move super fast from one spot to another without using any kind of smoke effect, and it's way safer than traveling through the Abyss. With speed, they can escape at any moment without any consequences. The TV men's teleportation, on the other hand, has some serious issues. We saw that clearly in episode 77. That's probably why the Astro toilets are now studying the Abyss to see how they might use it later on. I really believe there's a bunch of hidden and cool abilities in there that could change the course of the war. Maybe G-Man's secret weapon is even tied to the Abyss. Now let's talk about the test animation from Deer from Ohio. Honestly, it looks really good. Not raw at all. The background especially stands out, and there's a lot of fun little details like the office cameraman playing around on a chair. It's funny. It actually reminded me of that recent meme animation Boom made about the movie. If you pay attention, in Deer's version, Hugo Boss takes off his glasses and puts on a portable camera. In this version, the idea is that the camera is like spy glasses. Notice that in Strider's version, Hugo Boss doesn't even wear glasses, and in Boom's original, he wears them but never takes them off. That tells us this whole spy glasses mechanic was just Deer's idea, not something that was in Boom's script. So it turns out the portable camera goes somewhere near the head or doesn't get in the way of the glasses, so they don't need to be removed. And it's kind of fun to see Polycephaly and Hugo hugging. Now we know where that joke came from in the original, where the TV man says, "No hugs." Honestly, I could talk about these guys and speculate about what went on behind the scenes of episode 78 for hours, especially with all these test animations. So if you want a full video on that, hit the like button and I'll go through it all more carefully. Who knows? Maybe we'll discover some awesome detail that helps us crack the future storyline. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, so you don't miss the new uploads. Catch you later.